So swift the assassin's bullet, so devastating its effect. Since World War II, there have been about 40 heads of state and government assassinated, dozens more targets. As Richard C. Hotlett reports, the sound of the guns that cut down Anwar Sadat today echoed far and wide.
A political earthquake has rocked the Middle East. The pattern of peace and power, such as it was, has been shaken. Sadat was the central figure in that pattern. He offered Israel peace and full acceptance in the region, dramatically breaking with the past. Other Arabs accused him of making a separate peace with Israel in order to get the Sinai back, and they denounced and ostracized him for joining Israel and the United States at Camp David to solve the Palestinian problem. Sadat pressed ahead, dealing at the same time with internal problems, social tensions, and objections from Islamic extremists. Islamic extremism is a force that Sadat recognized and moved against. Iran's Foreign Minister Mousavi told CBS News 2 days ago that what he called the Islamic Revolution would overwhelm Egypt first.
There is a great degree of affinity and similarity between what is happening in Egypt today and what happened in the Shah's Iran.
What happened in Cairo is not a repetition of Iran. Now a new question. Soldiers apparently killed Sadat. How deeply is the army involved, and what conclusions will Sadat's foreign enemies draw? Stansfield Turner, former head of the CIA.
Oh, this is a field day for the Soviet Union. They'll use this as a propaganda tool to point out what happens to somebody like Sadat who becomes closely associated with the United States.
Libya's Muammar Gaddafi long hated and fought Sadat. He has much money and a strong Soviet connection. He is a man to watch. Richard C. Hotlett, CBS News, United Nations.
The Sadat assassination has created some uncertainty on Capitol Hill about the sale of AWACS radar planes to Saudi Arabia, which had appeared to be headed for defeat. Phil Jones has the latest on that.
Senate Majority Leader Baker, who's supporting the sale, called for a moratorium on worrying about AWACS. Let's wait for a few days, a week, said Baker. Senate Democratic Leader Byrd, uncommitted on AWACS, agreed.
I think we ought to step back, take a good look at that, not rushed into judgment.
But the House Foreign Affairs Committee was willing to postpone by only a day its vote on a resolution of disapproval of the sale. And Committee Chairman Zablocki, until today sympathetic to the sale, said the President ought to reassess. For these senators opposed to the AWACS sale, Sadat's assassination only strengthened their view that the region is too unstable for sophisticated American arms. But even amidst all today's confusion, senators were being called to the White House to talk about AWACS. It paid off with Senator Orrin Hatch, who changed his mind. Reasons? Private assurances from the President and news from Cairo.
The Sadat shooting did push me over.
But you said you're leaning in that direction.
Well, the reason it did is because I think that we have to have the deployment at this time. I think we have to have the safeguards at this time that deployment makes.
Tonight, it appears that the Sadat death may have given some new life to the AWACS sale. But the feeling here is that this could all change if the political climate worsens in Egypt and if Saudi Arabia does not assume a more visible role in trying to get the Mideast peace process back on track during this time of crisis. Phil Jones, CBS News, Capitol Hill.